There's a sense of calm about the ocean. The rising waves, the gentle breeze, all of it puts you at ease. But the same ocean can also be a ruthless battleground. It's vast, it's unforgiving, and it's remote. In this battleground, we depend on our sea warriors, on the Indian Navy to protect our frontiers. But why are we talking about this tonight? Because today, December 4th, is Navy Day. And there's an interesting story here. Until 1972, we celebrated Navy Day on the 15th of December. Do you know why we changed the date? Because of a major naval operation in 1971. That's when India fought a war to liberate Bangladesh. And in that war, India launched Operation Trident. Our ships wreaked havoc on Karachi port, and that operation happened on the 4th of December, hence the decision to change the date. So Navy Day is on December 4th. Now to the celebration. Until 2022, Navy Day was celebrated in Delhi, which was frankly a bit odd. Delhi is a landlocked city in the north of India. It is not ideal to celebrate our Navy. In 2022, the event was shifted out of the national capital, and this year it was held in Kerala, the capital of Thiruvananthapuram. Multiple warships were deployed to the waters of Kerala, including India's first carrier made at home, INS Vikrant. Though Navy Day is today, the demonstration happened yesterday. It included 19 warships, 1 submarine, 4 interceptor vessels and 32 aircraft. That's fighter jets plus helicopters. The event began with a 21-gun salute from INS Kolkata. It is a guided missile destroyer, the INS Kolkata. After that, MH-60 helicopters flew at low altitude. They dipped their nose in salute to the Indian president, and then the demonstrations began. Take a look. Four warships closed off the beachfront: INS Imphal, INS Udaygiri, INS Kolkata and INS Tamal. Chetak helicopters flew past in a banner formation. On the ground, special forces simulated an anti-pirate sweep. All in all, the crowd was swept away. But this event was not just about putting on a show, it was about sending a message. It was a display of India's naval might and capabilities. And the end goal? To cement India's place as a chief security provider in the Indian Ocean. Listen to what the President said.
The Indian Navy stands as the principal actor for the security of our seas, from deterring threats to combating piracy, from securing our exclusive economic zone to ensuring freedom of navigation. The Navy's role extended well beyond traditional defense.
Today's operational demonstration is aimed at providing a glimpse of Indian Navy's operational endeavors, a window into the discipline, precision, and teamwork that allows us to succeed at sea. Ma'am, on behalf of all ranks of the Indian Navy, let me assure you and all our fellow citizens that Indian Navy stands as a combat-ready, credible, cohesive, and future-ready force to ensure safety and security of India's maritime interests anytime, anywhere, anyhow.
The Indian President is also the Commander-in-Chief, and her mission brief was clear: deter threats, combat piracy, secure India's economic zone, ensure freedom of navigation, organize search and rescue, and finally deliver humanitarian aid. That's a pretty daunting mission. The Indian Ocean covers around 70 million square kilometers. How can one Navy cover all of that? Well, we have to start somewhere. Consider what happened in Sri Lanka last week, or this week rather. The country was battered by a strong cyclone. At the time, 2 Indian warships were in Colombo, INS Vikrant and INS Udaygiri. Both of them were there to provide humanitarian assistance. If you move west, you reach the Gulf of Aden. This is an area south of Yemen. This is where Houthis and pirates terrorize ships. Again, the Indian Navy stepped in. Around 40 Indian ships are deployed in anti-piracy missions. They have apprehended 52 pirates at sea. They've also saved 520 lives in the last 1 year. And these are not just Indian ships or lives. This is India's service to the world. But like I said, the job is much bigger. The Indian Ocean carries 50% of global trade, and recently it has become volatile. China is eyeing a foothold in these waters. Pirates and rebels are trying to derail shipping, and India is fighting all these threats. It's not as fashionable as sailing through the Taiwan Strait or as flashy as drills in the South China Sea, but trust me, this is important. And that's the thing about India's naval warriors. They're silent, but they're effective. Just look at Operation Sindoor. The Air Force did most of the actual combat. The Army was active along the frontier. And the Navy? The Navy was deployed in the northern Arabian Sea. INS Vikrant drove fear into the Pakistani Navy. They forced Islamabad to keep its warships at port. Like I said, silent and effective. But as yesterday showed, when they want to, they can put on a show. The sight of jets zooming off INS Vikrant, the flares falling off helicopters, or the special forces emerging from the waves, all of it evokes a sense of pride and awe. So this Navy Day, let's salute our maritime warriors, the gentle giants of our turbulent seas.
I rose from the Army with medals on my chest. I spoke of freedom from colonial chains, but I tightened my own. I filled prisons with ghosts. Nearly 500,000 people were butchered under my rule, and I trusted only my paranoia. I gave myself grand titles. I claimed to be Africa's strongman. History calls me something else, the dictator. Who am I?